Hello, I'm Mr. Malden, and this is the Middle School Math Toolbox where I teach you how to become a middle school math master. So if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button down below. Today we are talking about complementary and supplementary angles. So we're just going to jump right into this. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. So in and of itself, complementary is not really that difficult of a concept. It's just the concept that you have two angles that add up to 90 degrees. If you didn't know already, an angle is just a makeup of two separate rays that come together to form an angle. And you can measure angles with degree measures. So if I said that this angle is 30 degrees, then what I'm saying is in between this line and that line, or this ray and that ray, there's a measurement of 30 degrees. All right. Well, two angles that their individual angle measures add up to 90 degrees are called complementary angles. So complementary angles, all right, it's not a really hard concept. Again, it just adds up to 90. It just has to do with the difficulty comes in remembering what the word complementary means, all right? And so an easy way that I remember that is I just take that C, I just draw a line through it right there, and then the first two letters look like a 90. Just like that, all right? So complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. We can, when we're working with complementary and supplementary angles, a lot of times we're, writing equations and then solving equations to find missing pieces, all right? The value of the variable or the value of a separate angle or the like, all right? So you can simply just start with the information that you have. Right? Right here you have angle DEF and angle FEG, all right? And we know that they're complementary because you've got perpendicular, rays right here, but also you see this box right here. That box is a huge clue that both of these angles add up to a 90-degree right angle, all right? This is a right angle, and the measurement for a right angle is 90 degrees. So whenever you see that box, you know that everything on the inside of that right angle, or the lines or the rays that are connected to that box, everything on the inside has to add up to 90 degrees. A problem is not going to tell you that. You've got to come to the table with that knowledge, all right? So you can just start with the simple equation like the one angle plus the other angle adds up to 90 degrees, and then whatever expressions are on the inside of the angles in terms of degree measurement right here, you can replace those. All right, so for DEF you had 60 degrees, and for FEG you had 30 degrees. You can replace those with the numbers, add them together, or do the math that you need to do. If you've got a variable, the like, you're going to see some of those problems here in just a second, and it'll make more sense when you get there. But you can just start with the simple equation, then go through and solve the equation to find the missing piece that you need. All right. So let's just start out really simple, and let's just name the complement of each of these numbers. So I'll get us started with this first one. The complement of 40 is 50, and the way that I know they're complements is they add up to 90 degrees. So when you see that word, the complement of something, what it's saying is, what's the other angle measure that you need in order to add to this particular one to add up to 90 degrees? So if you've got an angle measure of 40, the complement of that is the measure that you need to add to it to equal 90 degrees, which is 50. So I want you to do the other three right there, and then just hit the pause button, go try those other three, and then come back to see if you've gotten this correct. All right, the complement of 36 would be 54, because that's what I'm adding to it to equal 90. 17 plus 73 is 90, and then 68 plus 22 is 90. All right, so those are the complements. All right, let's go now a little step further to actually how you're going to see it play out in geometry. All right, you're going to have angle measures kind of like this. All right, maybe sometimes you have the actual angle degree measure for one of the angles, but then the other one, you just have an expression here. This X right here represents a missing angle, and that's what we want to find. All right, so you've got the 60 and this X, and then we've got to come to the table with some knowledge, and the big clue from this problem is this square right here. All right, that square right there means that both of these angles add up to 90 degrees. So I could just start with the simple equation. 60 plus X equals 90 degrees. And the place I got the 60 from one of the angle measures, I got the x from the other angle measures, and together we know they add up to 90 degrees. Once I make my equation, I can solve the equation by undoing any math on the side with the variable, just like that. Okay? All right, try this one. And then with these videos, if you don't know me by now, the way I like to do this is when I give you an example problem, I like you to hit the pause button, try it yourself, and then come back to see if you've gotten the right answer. All right, if you got 60 plus 2x equals 90, you did the right thing. If we subtract 60 off of both sides, we'll find out that 2x equals 30. And then if we divide by 2 on both sides, x is going to equal 15. And so that's our final answer. X is equal to 15. All right, let's try this one. Pause the video, try it yourself, and then come back to see what the answer is. All right? 60 plus x plus 10 equals 90. In this case right here, I have two terms that are considered like terms. So I can go ahead and simplify this expression first. I have 60 plus 10, that's 70. I use those. Plus x equals 90. Now then I've got a one-step equation where I can subtract the 70 from both sides and find out that x equals 20. All right, try this one. Not too much different, but instead of a plus sign in between the x and the 10, there's a subtraction sign. So again, we're just going to make ourselves an equation by adding the two expressions. All right, and we know they add up to 90 degrees because there's a little square right there. All right, so then we're going to combine like terms. We have 60 and a minus 10. That's going to be combined to 50. Plus x equals 90. Subtract the 50 off of both sides. X equals 40. All right, next concept, supplementary angles. So if complementary angles add up to 90 degrees, supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. And you can kind of just like the quick and easy way that I remember that is I just connect the ends of the S. It looks like an 8. Okay, I'll add the 180 right there, but that's the way that I remember. Supplementary angles, the S kind of looks like an 8. That's like 180. All right, that's what kind of jogs my memory, and that just helps me understand, helps me remember that those are going to add up to 180 degrees. So in this case right here, you have these two angle measures, 130 and 50, and we know they're supplementary because we have a huge clue here. Like with a 90-degree angle, our clue was that box. With supplementary angles, the big clue is going to be the straight line. Okay, the straight line is always 180 degrees. So if you have two angle measures, all right, just like these right here, you have two angle measures that are sitting on a straight line, you know that together they're going to add up to 180 degrees. And so whatever math you have to do equal to 180 degrees. All right, go ahead and pause the video, see if you can come up with a supplement for each of these. All right, the supplement for each of these are going to be the other number that add to your original number to add up to 180. All right, so the supplement of 40 would be 140 because together those add up to 180. All right, and so on and so forth all the way down. All right, let's go ahead and do the math that you need to do right here to be able to come up with the value of x. So for this one, I'm going to take the two angle measures. I'm going to put them in a simple expression, 120 plus x, all right? And I know that together, since they sit on the straight line, they're going to add up to 180. So I can simply subtract 120 from both sides and find out that x equals 60. All right, in this case right here, I've got 120 plus 2x equals 180. Again, they still add up to the same line, which is 180 degrees. So stop this, pause it, see if you can solve this equation, come back to see if you've got the right answer. Okay, we're going to subtract the 120 from both sides. We'll have 2x left over on this side. We'll have 60 left over here because 180 minus 120 is 60, and these two canceled each other out, so we just had the 2x left over. Now to get rid of the multiply by 2, I have to divide by 2, so we have x equals 30. All right. If you're struggling with solving these equations, you can go back and find my video for solving equations, solving two-step equations. You'll find that just in my history of videos. All right, here we go. Got 2 more problems, and then we'll be done. This one right here, we got 2 different angle measures right here, and they're going to add up to, they're sitting on a straight line, so that's the big clue, they're going to add up to 180. So go ahead and pause the video, try this yourself, and then see what the answer is. All right, we have 120 plus x plus 10, and then we know those add up to 180. I'm going to combine my like terms right here because those 2 numbers are constants. They don't have variables, so those add up to 130. Plus x equals 180, and now I just have a simple one-step equation. I can subtract 130 from both sides, and I'll have x equals 50. All right. All right, I said I had 2 more problems. I had these last little bits, maybe just extra questions. What equation could be used to find x? All right, when you've got a question like this, what's the big clue here? The big clue is the square on the perpendicular angle right there. All right, that's going to be 90 degrees. So just by that, we can eliminate answers A and C because you know they have to equal 90 degrees. All right, and only B and D have equals 90 degrees. Now we need to find the expression that has 60 plus 2x plus 10 equals 90, and that's going to be answer B. So now that I want you to go through, you've got that equation, 60 plus 2x plus 10 equals 90 degrees. Go ahead and solve that and tell me what x equals. All right, solve that yourself, pause the video, solve it, and then come back to see if you got the right answer. All right, with a little bit more complicated expression like this, we need to really take our time to go ahead and simplify our expression. So I can add the 2 constants, 60 plus 10 is 70, plus my 2x equals 90. Now I've got myself a 2-step equation. I can subtract the 70 from both sides to undo the positive 7 right there. I know 90 minus 70 would be 20, and I've got 2x left over here. Now then, I can undo the multiplication by dividing by 2 on both sides, and I'll find out that x equals 10, just like that. All right, if you have any questions, you can write your questions in the comments down below. I hope you have a great day.